How we doing, YouTube? I'm Thomas with Tomology. I'm going to bring some tech news. I do have another product coming in to do a product review by Fifine. It is their audio interface for XLR microphones. So like this one right here, the XLR, that's non-USB. They want me to pair it with their Tank 3 right here. They will be providing it for me, but it's gonna be my thoughts, mine only. They know my rules. If I can't give it that constructive criticism, if there's something wrong with it, I will be comparing it to a couple of Focusrites. I have one of the newest Focusrites and the older, 802 I think or something like that, interface. So we'll be doing that. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, all the good jazz. But no, I seen a few things that caught my eye. The first one I'm going to do is right here for Intel. So Intel saying that they found the cause of what's going on with the 13 and 14 series, and it's within the chip. They're saying that it's being over voltage. So I don't know who all's been staying up with the Intel on this, but they made motherboard manufacturers come out with a new BOYA saying that it was the motherboard manufacturers that are causing this. They're a cat chasing its tail. They're just chasing it in a circle here. So, but yeah, that's gonna be first. So hopefully we'll have a micro software update for the microcode or whatever. We'll see. But they're saying that it is due to um, overvolting. The processors themselves are overvolting, and they're saying that it's only limited to the 13900 and the 14900s, and I think that it's actually limited to all across from the 13600 to the 14600. There's different reports in different areas, whether people are trying to get money out of it or say that it's theirs, but they're saying it's only the 900 series, so like the 14900, 13900. Okay, so the next one up is going to be the new Ryzen 9950X. So the first thing I'm going to say is AMD on certain things don't think the crap don't stink, and they're so much more expensive than Intel. Intel can give you that high performance and stay the gaming king because the price to performance ratio plus it just outdoes any AMD out there. So this one right here is supposed to boost a 5.7 gigahertz. So Igor and Igor Labs and Video Cards is where this is coming from. I mean, they were comparing it to apples for apples from the 7960X. And instead, they said, okay, let's go down to the Intel's flagship, the 14900. And it beat it by 35.6%, 35.4%, and 39.8%, depending on what they were running. So, and that is for 16 cores right out the bat, and that's all 16 cores. There's no 8 E cores, 8 P cores. That's just all straight 16 cores. So, I believe they were running it all at 253 watts on an AIO at 60 degrees Celsius. That's pretty cool on an AIO. So me with my custom water cool, I should be getting 40 off of that. I would hope. But to have a 40% faster than the 14900K, Intel's going to do something because they're losing E cores on their new chip coming out. So I believe this chip's supposed to come out at the end of July. Oh, excuse me, end of July, August. So we'll see what happens. But I haven't built the last major AMD build I built was when I built this a small N because I was on the PS4 and stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and get back into PCs. I got out of it for like 2 years of building. Had some health issues go on, and it threw me a different way. Well, when I came back in, I just got a 3600X and started with AMD because it was cheaper than Intel. And within, I'm talking about a month, I sold everything that I had just so I can get Intel because I like the performance of Intel. But this right here, give me the same performance as a 14900K. If Intel's new one can't even beat. If they're neck to neck and only a frame or two here, frame or two there, I mean, I might have to go with AMD because of their platforms. They're just going to add more and more processors to the same motherboard, and all I got to do is replace a processor and not my whole system. That's just incredible right there. All right, this is kind of funny, but at the same time, I don't know how I feel about it. Xbox has some new controllers coming out for the extreme fans out there. You want to go ahead and grab a hold of Wolverine's butt or Deadpool's butt? I thought these were pretty. I haven't seen these nowhere. I haven't seen nobody talk about these. These are pretty cool though. Um, they're just Xbox controllers. I don't know if they're the elites. I don't know. They're not. They don't have no trigger buttons. I think it would have been cool to make these elite controllers and have curved trigger buttons. I think that might have been comfortable in the hand. I wonder how much this is actually going to throw people off as they're trying to game with these. You know, a lot of the little kids are going to want them and don't even know nothing about Deadpool or Wolverine here. But no, that I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was noteworthy to put in here. But yeah, it's a unique design. Uh, again, I mean, you want to be grabbing some dude's butt, that go for it. I won't have one. If I did, it'd probably be Wolverine. I won't lie. But no, maybe for just a showpiece up on my shelf here in front of me with all my other knickknacks and stuff up here. But no, I think that's just gonna be really really big in your hand. I'd actually have to see one, but anyone who buys these, if you're opening them up to actually game with them, I think that you got an issue with you. If you're going to collect these and never open up the box, I think that's where it needs to be at. These possibly will be a collector's item later on, later on in life. So, maybe your grandkids or great grandkids, if you start looking at what is collectible now, from when, like me when I was a kid, or my parents when they were kids, to now, there's a lot of collectible things, and I think I believe this would be one of them. All right, I did a little bit of news the other day about the 5090 series, but 5090's more news. There's some saying that it could be at the end of this year that they could release them, or a lot of people are starting to say that it's going to be CES of 2025. So we don't know. All I know is these leaks right here is giving me hope, but then it's not of how much more performance that they're going to be. And I really hope that AMD is watching some of this and how they can actually do things. So we just do the streaming multi-core process, 192 versus 128. Again, remember, these are leaks. So take it with a grain of salt. We don't know. Pretty much these leaks like this right here, they're pretty much almost accurate to the T. So the CUDA cores 24,000 versus 16. That is quite a bit of a jump right there for your CUDA cores. Your core ray tracing, it's 192 to 128. Yes, that's going to give you more. I mean, I'll have people that will argue with me, and they'll do. Um, I don't know. They like to argue on certain things, but that's not a huge big thing on the ray tracing. A lot of the gamers I know that even have 4090s, they don't do ray tracing. So what we're looking for and what we're waiting on is someone that games like I do on a 4090 at 4K. We're waiting on that. So I have a 240 hertz OLED monitor. I want to be able to use that 40 or a video card. I want to be able to get all of my frame rate without using any frame gen, anything else, raw performance. So if I can get as close as I can to that raw performance and then barely move up or downgrade a couple things to get to that max frame rate, that is where you want to be at. So as far as me, my 4090, say Call of Duty, I average on raw performance, I get about 130 to 140 frames per second raw performance. That's with no NVIDIA DLSS, no frame gen, no nothing. Once I turn that on and the frame gen, or I put on NVIDIA DLSS, I will jump up over 260 frames. And of course, if I lower the quality, keep lowering it, the higher and higher I get. But I want that crisp image. I want that good image so I can see. All right, so your tensor core is 512 to 768. That's pretty good jump right there. The boost clock ain't gonna jump too much, so 2.9. So you can probably get about 2 to 3.4 when you overclock these. The L2 cache is a pretty good jump from 72 megs to 128. And then the memory bandwidth is also a good jump, but they should be, since we're getting, PCX. There again, we don't even know if these are going to be the new PCI Express 5 or not. But to get that memory bandwidth out of it, the 1532 added the 1000. So we got a couple of things. Let's see. Real quick. Other rumors suggest 1.5 to 1.6 boost, which would still be a huge upgrade. It would, but for the price that these are going to be at, the 5090 is going to be at $2,000. I mean, I don't care which way you look at it; they're going to be at $2,000. If they brought that thing down to 1,500, you're not going to get one of these for at least a year if they can bring them down to 1,500, because everyone's going to be getting them. Everyone's going to be selling their 4090s, 4080s, whatever. But these things, I don't know. I think that that's what I was going to get at. So we still don't know what the RAM is. Are these going to be 24, 48? There's been so many rumors there. I would at least think that they're going to be 48 gigabits of RAM. So we'll see. Again, these are all just rumors, and we're getting closer and closer. So start saving that pocketbook. Start saving that money. Pull out your 401ks, because you're going to need it. All right, not that I want to give Asus spotlight here, but so far there's a motherboard that all their RGB is actually now going to be controlled through the Windows native RGB, since Windows decided to say, hey, look, we'll go ahead and put this in here. You don't need no third-party software, nothing like that. So the more things Windows can add in and do there, the less apps we're going to do something else. So that means the less problems you'll have with certain conflicts of drivers and crashes that you'll have on your PC. So hopefully MSI and Gigabit and ASRock will follow with it, but Asus so far, they're the first ones to adopt this. Beta BIOS will let your motherboard run it without needing a separate Asus app, so you don't have to have the Armory Crate in order to do this. So, which is really nice, and the only thing that would be, we don't know what's going to happen on that aspect. If you're an RGB, get into it. You want the comet or whatever different lighting effects are there. We don't know how many presets Windows is going to have. If they have, 20 different presets, and you like those better than you do Armory Crate, then of course you're going to use Windows. But if they don't offer so many, like me, I don't use all that. I like my RGB, but I don't do like Comet trails or anything like that. I just run white, steady, and I turn on low just to give me that soft glow in my PC case. All right, lastly is burglars are now jamming Wi-Fi security cameras. This is ridiculous, man. People can't just go out, bust their butt, make money, and work up the chain of command and buy their own stuff. They got to be stealing stuff, and Congress will put something in where they can get away with it, just like they do everything else. So if if this becomes bigger and bigger, I'll tap more on it in future videos. So like and subscribe on that. But there has to be a way to stop this, and there has to be a device maybe for you to spend more money. But I think that the big companies are causing this. I think that they found a way to do it. I don't think that it was them to make more money. That's my opinion on it. But they're finding their ways for wireless networks, cameras like the Ring and the Nest. That is scary, because those are two of your biggest ones out there. I don't know why they have a Wise camera here, because this right here is a Wise camera. These are the ones that I have. But they're saying the Ring and the Nest. But anyways, that's the news that I found that I thought was, noteworthy for the day or the week, whichever way you want to look at it. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, leave comments down below. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm Thomas with Tomology.